Welcome, dear friends, to Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m., nourishing our souls with the Spirit of Truth. The Spirit of Truth is this book that really invites us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and life. Every message, the Spirit of Truth, through his group of messengers, the very spirit authors of this book, they invite us to a new understanding of life, to a new feeling. But most of all, they encourage us to commit, to have a commitment with life. What about us? Do you feel like you have a commitment with life? Because most often we just live our lives as is. But this book says, no, it's much more than that. We need to be conscious co-creators. And today our dear Meimei comes through Chico Xavier to talk about waiting for you. Why? Because she was inspired in item 8, chapter 12 of the Gospel according to Spiritism. Chapter 12 is love your enemies. What a hard lesson, huh? But as Kardec says, love your enemies is not limited to the narrow circle of the earth in the present life, but it's part of the great law of universal solidarity and fraternity. And today, item 8 is about not reacting. How interesting. Because at some point, Kardec says, focus, do not repay evil with evil. Yes, focus your gaze on the future ahead. The more you lift yourselves above the material life through thought, the less you'll be disheartened by things of the earth. Oh, what a different perspective, right? The good spirits through Kardec were telling us that we will overcome the present difficulties by aiming at the future. So we are invited today to do just that. And it May goes even deeper because she says, before you say that bitter phrase that explodes in your heart, try holding on to your mouth. Think about the kindness of God that involves you everywhere. Think about it. God is always kind. God doesn't curse us. God doesn't punish us. God doesn't lecture us. God is this constant loving kindness. What an insight. Because if God is the Almighty and He does not react negatively, who are we to do it, right? That's a good question. And as Meimei says next, nature is the lap of an expectant mother. Abundant, always generous. Nature resembles the celestial night to the eye of love itself that elevates you. Hidden, and the air you breathe is just like the breath of tenderness from someone as extending invisible nourishment to you. Everything serves in silence, waiting for you. Everything serves in silence, waiting for us. When I read this first, I was jaw dropped. Why? Because we don't realize how much life is caring for us, right? We take it for granted. Everything serves in silence. And it's so true. Look at the trees. Look at everything, the wind and the clouds and the rain and everything from animals to plants. They have their own language, but no demand on us. But where's our share? Where? The public road opens at your feet. In a friendly invitation, the pure water is ready to mitigate your thirst. The noble book awaits the touch of your hands to comfort you, and the fruit, pending from the tree, pray humble that you collect it. So we are being invited by life. And again, she says, think of the goodness of God. Do not say the word that discourages or curses. Okay, so this is the main thing. I'm not done reading the message, but it's one of the main highlights. Think of the goodness of God and do not say things that are discouraging or discourage others or curse others. We're being invited to self education. Quiet yourself when you cannot help. Let your soul be tender, helping the construction of the eternal good that gives us everything without demanding anything. And you understand that God offers you life through a divine symphony, and that this divine symphony asks you also to give your note. What a beautiful symbolism! But much more than being beautiful, it's truthful because it says that we have our share. From beginning to end, Meimei asks you and I to participate in the symphony of God. So let us visualize a symphony, an orchestra, and we being part of it. How are you doing? Are you participating? Are we participating? In the book Harvest of Light, Emmanuel talks about our personal commitment. And he says, people will do their things, but we have to do our share. And God is the one that seals everything. So the question today is, Meimei is saying that life is waiting for us. Where are we in that regard? What do we need to do to participate, to make sure that we are there, present, friends? Today is a deep invitation for us. There's so much to be done. But where are we doing our share? Sometimes it's at home. We become absent from the very need to participate in the family thing. Or at work, always isolating ourselves. In chapter 23 of the Medium's book by Kardec, we come to know that isolating ourselves is a good way to fall into obsession. We're not talking about isolation during COVID time, but we're talking about isolation in our groups, family, partaking. We avoid partaking in the common good. This is very critical because in the United States alone, we value much the individuality, people's individual needs, but it's much beyond it. We need also to care for the whole, or we're going to be self-centered, egotist, and selfish, which are the roots of all evil. So today we're being invited by the sweet and kind educator, Meimei, to avoid reacting in a negative way. It's never good to react. We're learning. We have a long way, but at least we're aware we need to change that. And then avoid saying words that are negative, like discouraging, cursing, and observe that life is asking for our participation, being tender, being kind. Think about the kindness of God. Think about everything that serves in silence. Think of the goodness of God. And he says, God offers us life through the divine symphony. And this divine symphony asks us to give our note. It's like do, re, mi. Yes. A, B, C. This is exactly what it is. We're being invited to participate in the divine symphony. What an invitation! It's such an amazing invitation that we really want to meditate on this. So, in the next 24 hours, visualize yourself wherever you are, in your house or outside. Let us visualize together. We being part of the symphony of God, divine symphony. And let us visualize ourselves participating in this, in the making of the beautiful melodies by giving our notes. All right? So let's see how interesting it becomes. We cannot excuse ourselves no longer. This time is shaking us up, asking us to really proceed to the next level. We wish you many blessings in this exercise, and we hope that we all feel, as I close my eyes, participating in this beautiful divine symphony, and we together with others, because we don't need other people to move from their position so we are somebody. No, no, no. We can participate with others and it becomes ever more beautiful. Nobody is exempted from their participation because others are coming along. Some people think that way when they see the new generation. Oh, they're going to do the work. They're going to do their work, but we are going to do our work. And then together, divine symphony. So let us play in the divine symphony of God in the next 24 hours. We praise God for the opportunity and we hope that we don't keep God waiting for much longer because we want to participate in the divine symphony. After all, we're divine beings. Thank you, friends, for being with us here in this current of healing. Let us visualize that it's spreading out to the world, embracing everything and everyone who needs loving care and healing. Thank you, and see you tomorrow, God willing.